Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our exploration of unpacking one Chinese expression a day. And in October, we stick with 3-character Chinese phrases, which are mostly more grassroots, more recent, more fun in a way, because it came in this odd number, 3-character versus 4, which is more stabilized, more formalized. 3 is more fun. Okay, 老掉牙. Okay, 老掉牙. We have old, drop teeth. So it's kind of teeth falling out, kind of old. And that's how old it is. So 老掉牙 simply is a fun way to express how exactly old that is. In Chinese, oldness or age in this character 老, specifically talking about people above 70, and in a context of ancient Chinese, whose lifespan most likely in their 30s, 40s, and when in that era, when the lifespan, say the norm is 40s, if you make it into 70s, you're way out there. Like that's a super outlier kind of equivalent of today's about 100 years old, right? So that's a definition of 老. So somebody who made it that long beyond the regular, normal life expectancy must be somebody who knows what they're doing through life. Or they are extremely lucky, lucky draw on their genes, or lucky draw of where, when exactly they were born, that they weren't hit by life in a major way or traumatized, right? So they grow into an older age, or they have the super power to self-nurture, self-heal, so that they can keep recovering themselves, to maintain a certain mindset, to enjoy life that much that they make it into like double the longevity of regular lifespan. Okay, that's 老. We have 老in the symbol of this change symbol. The reason why it's changed, I place over here. This is the original Chinese symbol for human, 2-leg standing being. And looks almost like an English letter R that got the left and right side. So one is straighter, one is curvier. It almost, if we put it in the context of today's neuroscience about how our brain works, we have left and right sides, and they kind of point to different functions of us. One is rational, one is emotional, if we super simplify like that. So Chinese language captured that 2 sides, like where it is split like a bipolar. Each of us have these 2 qualities residing in us. That's the Chinese human. And then we have the human figure flipped over and then rotate to this symbol. And that looks like a Chinese dagger symbol, but in this case, it's a human rotation. And just by rotating it, Chinese character actually create a time series, because it's a 2D frame trying to capture 3D world. It's already complicated that way, right? And then trying to capture the 4th dimension, which is time, is even harder. How are you going to capture things change over time? Chinese language creator, go with this rotation, with this flipping, to show you that it's the same structure, but it's twisted somewhat, modified somewhat, so that now it looks like this. And compare this with this, it means change. It's the same thing, but it's changed. Okay, is that blowing your mind? It blew mine. So when I find out how to project a 4th dimension onto this 2D frame, I'm like, okay, that's some wisdom right there. Okay, and then the remaining part, this describes the hairdo of the old person who doesn't care how they look, how their hair combed or tied up or bundled. Don't care about that anymore. Let it run wild. So picture Einstein's hairdo. That's the ancient, like older person's special feature. They don't care about their look anymore. And then the third over here is like a cane, because yeah, ancient times doesn't have the contemporary walker, but they do have a certain walk facilitating tool to help them from falling, right? So this cane, this hair, and this change of humans over time combined together, piece this 70-year-old, today's 100-year-old people who get into that special age group. That's the old in Chinese. Okay, 调. Okay, we have 5-finger hand symbol. And the top tilt was later added on to differentiate this symbol with actually this symbol. This is the hair symbol. You see, they come in similar structure. But then how people are going to distinguish hair from hand by adding this right tilted is the hand, left tilted is the hair. This is a later discovery of me, like, okay, that makes sense, because otherwise how are you going to explain, like, why middle finger especially tilted? It doesn't make sense. It's a differentiator. It's a diverger, because otherwise two characters converge. So to send them on their own way, no confusion, somebody added this, and it has to be all the language users agree on this change that was, preserved over history. Okay. Here you can see is another rotation of this character. So that means it's also a sort of change as well, right? It's a human figure, but flipped the other way. And the bottom of this means dawn breaking. Okay, breaking dawn. This is breaking, this is dawn. Okay, breaking because it is kind of depicting the moment when the fruit or the seed in a shell is kind of the shell ripe and break, and the seed inside the shell ejected outside of it. So it depicts a particular bio development stage of such shelled seed plant, the moment when the shell break and then the seed go out to the world to what's the word, to continue reproduce, right? Carry on the genes. So this is the moment of seed exploding. Okay, so therefore it becomes breaking, seed breaking the shell. Okay, the top oval shape with horizontal line, that's the sun symbol, because the shape, oval shape, okay, Chinese character doesn't really depict it as oval, simply because it's placed kind of squished in this vertical line. So it became this oval shape. There is this distortion of the sphere. Otherwise, I mean, the sphere should be in a 2D form represented by a perfect circle, right? Sphere to circle. That's a correct mathematically exact projection. But because it's incorporated in this other characters squeezed in the middle, so it becomes oval shape. And then with a horizontal line, it means the energy emitting from that sphere. That's our sun symbol. So sun symbol, breaking of the seed from the shell. That is sun breaking. That is dawn breaking. Early moment of day. Then this human figure changed human figure. So here I have to add in my interpretation and imagination, because I have to reverse engineer a little bit. Eventually this whole right side, the change symbol plus dawn breaking symbol together means outstanding person, most likely. So it's some of overachiever. And the reason why dawn breaking and change, probably I'm thinking of this, self-help gurus of the day on the internet keeps propelling, selling the idea of 5 a.m. club, right? If you get ahead of the dawn breaking time, you set the pace and the tone of the day. And then you're going to become an outstanding person eventually because of this control of your schedule, control of how your day unfolds. In a way, maybe it makes sense. We don't exactly know, but this dawn breaking and change captured in the Chinese language here, eventually to mean outstanding, probably could be imply the ancient practice of dawn breaking, get up, and then this person eventually change. Chinese do value early rising efforts. So I guess dawn breaking, rising also is culturally encouraged because farming society, you need to get out on the field before the dawn time so that you can work in unheated under the sun in the early days of the sun. And that's how you distinguish yourself versus the late risers. When you head out to the field, it's already hot and you won't be as productive as the early risers. So culturally, Chinese prioritize the early risers, like value them more and, pin down. They are the ones, the early risers going to be the outstanding person eventually. 5 a.m. club. So we have the hand, this outstanding character combined together somehow means drop. I cannot really figure out why it means drop. If you're outstanding, right, that means you're kind of rise above the crowd. And then connected with something to do with the hand, right? It depicts a behavior of the hand. The hand can do a million different things. And when it pairs with outstanding, it actually means drop. Like, how does that make sense? Don't you want outstanding connected with the hand mean something positive instead of like dropping, as if it's falling, as if you're dropping from your high ground of your early riser hard-earned achievements. Like, that doesn't really make sense. I don't have a good story today to explain away why outstanding plus hand symbol actually means drop. It probably just give us this precarious situations of whoever make it out there above everybody else by consistently rising up early in the morning. Like, that hard-earned position is not permanent either. It's easily dropped. Things can easily get out of hand, right? So to speak. So that's drop. Ya is almost like a profile view of the X-ray picture of how the teeth look like in your mouth. So this we can view it as the lower, the tip of the nose kind of look like that. And then open mouth, right? The top teeth, the bottom teeth, and then the drop. It's a visual depiction to the best of this language to depict the top and bottom teeth from the side view. Okay, old drop teeth. So it's so outdated that teeth are falling out. That's how outdated it is. Okay, as a culture, Chinese value ancient wisdom. So if something came in the shape of this almost torn out, time-worn books like that, in the Chinese culture, people value that. Because from generations, thousands of years, it's an agrarian society. People live generation to generation, no big change, at least technologically. Probably culturally not that much big of a difference either. So the newer generation would, value the old timers, how they would, like their practice, their thinking, right? That's understandable. But in this phrase, 老掉牙, like teeth falling out, kind of old. That means that it's really, really old. It's so old that it becomes irrelevant to today's situation. And indeed, this 老掉牙, just from the sound of it, like 掉牙, pairing together somehow sounds to my Chinese speaking ear. Wait, not Chinese speaking ear. I cannot speak with my ear. To my native language user ear, it sounds like a contemporary formation of this expression. So we can see in recent years, recent 100 years probably, China went through a lot, especially the half a century. China went through a lot. 50 years ago, it was still Cultural Revolution. China was still super closed from the outside world, and then plug into this global trade network, right? Become one of the fastest rising country. People are so, wealth, knowledge, hunger, and the speed of change was just neck breaking. And so you can see, like, somebody who uses this expression 老掉牙 means what's recorded in the books in the past is hardly relevant to us anymore in today's new environment when things are changing so fast and society, like, totally, it's not exactly upheaval, probably upheaval in a good way, that is transforming too fast, that the old knowledge practice is like, you don't even need to resort to that, just discard. Shedding off your old identity as a culture, as a nation, embrace the new. So that's implied in here, this 老掉牙. That's how this 老掉牙depicting is outdated, and things new are embraced, are valued. But of course, after a few decades of this neck-breaking thing, as a culture, like what I'm doing here, looking at the language, looking at the origin of the language, look at how things used to be done, how the meaning was made. A lot can be found in this ancient language, in this old books, these ancient wisdom. So that's what I'm sharing right here. 老掉牙的东西. Okay, outdated. Not exactly. Okay, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you next.